everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shakes and Fidget free-to-play playthrough. Today we are gonna talk about one of the features which we unlocked and which I mentioned in the previous episode, and which I think it's one of the actually quite a big ones because it does give you really nice boosts to your character and makes sense to try and build this picture up as much as possible. Before we start, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on notifications to get information when there is a new video out, and don't forget to leave the comment below if you want to share your thoughts, share some tips, tricks, or if you want to just say hello. But onto the episode. First, to go through the progress. As you can see, we're level 171, and we actually made some nice progress, mostly in the main of pets. We will cover it in a few seconds. But first, just the character, it's level 171. Don't mind the inventory. I have some stuff which I need to dismantle, for example, or sell. And actually this spot I have been keeping until the previous spot, which is the XXL, expires, and then I could use it. The equipment is still the same, there is no change in comparison to previous episodes. I of course did spend some gold, and I would spend some more now on the stats themselves. So it's not a huge development. The most of it comes from the levels or from the experience itself. The current situation with the guild is still of course 10-10. There is no upgrades done there, of course, because this is the maximum. When it comes to the fortress, level 13 still fortress. The Hall of Knights is still at level 12 because we need a lot of resources to upgrade the Hall of Knights. And I have been farming every day. It goes a bit slow because there is actually we're sort of a bit delayed. And actually, when on this, I could upgrade this. Well, actually, I can upgrade a bit of warriors just to be able to attack more people. Which I was not observing that much because usually people don't build any kind of defense, but it also sometimes you can see that this is third player was the only one which did not have, so I do have a lot of saved fights, but still some of them do build defenses, and this actually takes a bit of or creates us a bit of problem, so we need to upgrade a bit our units. So that's when it comes to the fortress upgrade. When it comes to the dungeons, we are in the circus. We are slowly moving towards 12 and upwards. I actually like Circus of Terror. I remember that on my mage character on EU2, but even before that, like on the older characters, jumping from this one to this one is so easy. Like this is what I think mentioned in one of the previous episodes, like from level 125-30 clearing these dungeons, it gets somehow, we have a spike in a power level, and then it's so easy to push through the dungeons. When on this, because we are level 171, this is a weapon for like 150. We do need a new upgraded weapon. You can see, for example, this one has 35 more average damage. This one 38. So we really need an upgraded weapon, and hopefully we will get one. I will pay attention on the weapons in the weapon shop, because even, for example, this one could benefit us quite heavily. It even has some fire damage on top. And when on this, the fire damage comes from the runes. You can see that we have more than 1,000 runes. We actually have 4,000. So we have been upgrading the arena manager in order to collect the runes. As I said, I would be employing the strategy of doubling the runes. So I would only sacrifice once I have around 4,000 runes to sacrifice. But you are all here for a new feature which we unlocked, and let's go through it. So feature I want to cover today is the Underworld, of course, because not long time ago we have leveled, or we have unlocked the tower. This is the first condition. This is the first thing you need to have in order to unlock Underworld, and then the second thing is to have a gem mine level 10, because once you have a mine level 10, you can then mine the Heart of Darkness, and the Heart of Darkness is actually a main building in the Underworld. So I managed to mine it, and this unlocked the Underworld. The Underworld is more or less just a fortress, but in the Underworld, and you can access it by just double clicking the fortress, or you can also use this coin here to toggle between the fortress and the Underworld. And generally it works similarly. You have a specific resource which you need to mine, and you use this resource, or of course other ways of gathering this resource. You need to mine it, and then you need to upgrade your buildings. The resource is called souls, and it's generally souls of other players, and you can either mine it through the soul extractor, or you can lure the players into your Underworld, and then when you defeat them you get souls. But I will cover this in a few seconds, how this works, and similar, just to cover generally the idea of the Underworld. So you get the Heart of Darkness, and you need to build it. Once you build it, you can build the soul extractor, because this is your main way how to get resources at a lower level. So you immediately build the soul extractor, and then you're collecting souls so that you can upgrade all the other buildings. The buildings here are, as in Fortress, similar. So you have a resource gathering building. Okay, you have the main building, which in the Fortress is the fortress, and in the Underworld it's Heart of Darkness, and it defines the level of all of your other buildings. The second is the mine, or resource gathering building. In the Fortress this is the quarry and the woodcut, and here it's the soul extractor. Then you have the units, the defense, or in this case scenario it is defense, but in general you are luring enemies, and these are the keeper, the goblins, and the trolls. The goblins are the cheapest ones and the weakest ones, of course. Then come the troll, and then the keeper is the strongest one. And generally you need to have it upgraded, because every time you upgrade, the keeper gets boost in levels, but you can also upgrade the levels by using some gold and some souls, and each time you click it will be upgraded by 1 level additionally. And in general, the stronger the keeper is, the stronger the enemies you can lure, or the stronger the enemies you lure can be defeated. So this is when it comes to the sort of your army. Then there is the gate, which is enabling you to lure the players in order to gather the resource, the souls. Then there is the torture chamber, which boosts the amount of souls you get from from the luring or defeating the enemies you lure. Then there is the adventuromatic, which is generally one of the good ways how to get a lot of experience on a higher level. So what it actually enables you is that you store unused thirst, and for the unused thirst you store, you get bonus thirst. So for example, you did not play all of your thirst for that day. At midnight, the portion of the thirst will be stored in the adventuromatic, and you would get some bonus thirst, and then you can use it next day when you get up, let's say, and you will get experience. So it's really nice. So the next building we're talking about is the gold pit, and the gold pit generally is let's say the counterpart of the academy. So the academy gives you experience, the gold pit gives you gold, and that's it. It just piles up the certain amount of gold that you can then collect every day, and it's a okayish thing to have. But the thing is that the amount of gold which you're receiving is by no means significant amount, especially in the higher levels, when a single stat upgrade is like 10 million, but it's still a nice thing because it gives you a passive income. Then there is the last building, which arguably is the most important thing building in the underworld, and this is the gladiator trainer. This is a big one. So the gladiator trainer boosts damage, the critical hit damage of you, your followers, and your pets. So this is really important to build in your underworld. And if you remember, when I was going through the pets, some strategies with the pets require you to have a level 11 or level 12 gladiator in order to be able even to beat the next pet in line. So it's really important to upgrade the gladiator. What it does, it just gives you the increased critical hit damage. So for example, if your normal damage is 1000 and your critical would be, let's say, 2000, the gladiator increased this 2000 to 2.5 or 3000 or 4000. It goes all the way up to 165%, so it's really significant amount of damage which you get. So this you need to keep up building on a higher level. Unfortunately, I already lured the heroes because I would like to show you how the process works. But in generally, as I mentioned, the resources you can get from the soul extractor. You can also get it from the dice game. So there's a chance of getting it. Let's just quickly do one. So yeah, I got 2, so I did not win. In general, you can get it from the dice game. You can get it from Dr. Abavuvu, and you can also get it from the daily login bonus. So there are multiple ways on getting it. Also from quests, if I'm not mistaken, you can get it. I'm not 100% sure. I now cannot recall if I've got it so far, but in theory you can get it in multiple ways. But the main way is actually the luring of the heroes. And in order to showcase it, I am not sure if I have it on any of my heroes, but let's just quickly check it. Yeah, I can do it here. So as you can see, I have here quite the upgraded base. So here is the gold, and here is the adventuromatic, which generally works. You click and just defeat some mobs, and for those mobs you get some experience. And how you lure the heroes, you just click. Now, before actually luring the heroes, the first thing is that you need an army. And here you can see that my keeper is level 12, and I think I even upgraded it 45 times. So in total my keeper is level 210. This does not mean that I could fight 210 level hero, because the heroes usually have bonus damages, they have enchants and similar, so it's almost not possible. However, the amount of souls I'm gonna get are defined by two things. The first thing is the Underworld Gate, which says maximal souls at level 127 plus, and then the second one is the Adventuromatic, which gives you additional bonus, Torture Chamber, not Adventuromatic, stand corrected, gives you a additional 10% per each level of souls. So considering this, when you are fighting, you always start from level 1, so you cannot immediately attack or lure a hero which is level 120. The amount of souls you're getting is always increasing from level 1 to higher levels. So for example, I am currently maxed out because my Underworld Gate and Torch Chamber are at 127, and currently I can lure hero if the game would. I can get the I'll get the most souls if I lure the hero is at least level 127, and I can lure 127. If I do it, of course my goblins will be completely devastated. However, when it comes to my keeper can pose a fight because he has 2.5 million health and he is level 210. The reason why he's level 210 is also because I got a lot of souls by doing the elevator and similar, so it got a nice boost. and being able to then upgrade the keeper. So as you can see, I got 12,000 souls, and now I can attack a level 128. However, you need to click out and then click a lower hero. So I will repeat it once more. I will fight 128, I win, I get now more souls. If I click OK, here it says I can get more souls if I would be attacking level 129. However, this guy is 128, so I need to click out and lower a hero, and then I would get a new hero who is a level 129. So always when you are farming, you need to click out and get a higher level. There is a second option. If you find a hero which is a higher level than what your level that you're aiming at, 131 is, you can attack multiple times and your level will just increase, but he needs to be higher than that. So for example, on I will now show you just in a second. So on this level, there is a content creator called Hundrizzle, and he actually, I cannot do it, but just a second, I can find him. So he created a character called Rizzle, and what he did is he wanted to support the community. So he created a character where he did not boost any stat except luck, and he was leveling until level 203, and then he completely removed all of his equipment. And when you lure him, you're getting souls for a level 203, but even a keeper level 1 can defeat him. Maybe not level 1, level 2, level 3 maybe, but he's easy to defeat. So you would be getting a lot of souls, and you can just spam attack him. You don't have to shuffle the hero which you want to attack, because he is way above the level that you are aiming at. For example, in my case scenario, the level I'm aiming at is 204. Actually, I am more. But it would be actually quite problematic for me to defeat, because my keeper is 212 level, and if I would be attacking any higher level, then it would not be possible for me to defeat them. So this is why this guy is really helpful from that point of view. He actually made it, especially in the Souls event which happened last week. I was getting a bunch of souls when attacking. So that's more or less it when it comes to the Underworld, what it is, how you farm the souls, and how you what buildings you would need to upgrade. And actually here I would like just to give you a bit of a strategy. So once you upgrade the Underworld, first you would get a Pro Pack. The Pro Pack costs 25 euros, it's 30 in game, but if you go to the web shop, it's 5 euros less. You would get, of course, a bunch of shrooms. You would get 100 souls, which is really, really good. And then you get hourglasses and some splinters. And the point is that if you would buy that, even if you would not, but if you buy that, of course, it is a significant boost to you to be able to do upgrading for the first few levels. But the main buildings you need to keep upgraded is the Heart of Darkness, of course, because it defines the level of all buildings, the Soul Extractor, the Keeper, the Gate, the Torch Chamber, and the Gladiator. So it's like 2, 4, 6 buildings. You can skip the Goblin Pit, you can skip the Troll Block, Gold Pit, and Adventure-O-Matic at this point in time. So the most important thing is to upgrade these ones, because these ones enable you to gather souls and also give you a significant boost in damage. Later on, after level 10 or 12 of your heart, you can then build Adventure-O-Matic, because it's a nice boost of your experience, and only later you can go for the Gold Pit or the others. So the most important thing are these buildings, and if you're gonna buy the pack, you can immediately push the Heart of Darkness to level 6, 7, even more. If I'm not mistaken, I mean 25,000 costs the level 6, so you can for sure go to 7. And one thing to note is that Keeper you can only build if your Heart of Darkness is level 5. So you need to build to level 5, and then of course the soul extractor to be able to fund the Heart of Darkness, and then the Keeper you would start upgrading after that to be able to lure the heroes. So that's the strategy. Of course, you can find a more in-depth strategy also in the Shakesandfidget manual, the Learning SF manual PDF, which I have linked in the description, because it gives you a nice overview what you can do with a certain amount of resources and how to get the most of it. But in general, this is the idea, just to keep these couple of buildings upgraded at the beginning. That's more or less it when it comes to the Underworld. As I said, the only other thing which I would like to mention, I don't have it here because it has already passed, but I would like to mention the event tied to this feature, and this is the Souls event. So Days of the Doom Souls, and it actually gives you a double amount of souls from Lord Heroes, from your Extractor, from the Gambler, and Wheel of Fortune, and you can find souls during quests. So actually, here is the answer to my question a few minutes ago. So souls you cannot generally get during quests. However, when the event is on, you can get them. The last thing which I would like to mention for today is the upcoming events. Usually I wait until they are published in the game because I so far did not have a reliable source, but I have been tracking a website which you have it linked below. It's the SF Poradnik, the Polish website, which has a nice explanation of all of the in-game features and similar, even though it is a bit outdated, I think. But in general, you can find below a description of it, and there is a description of the or the list of events which are coming for the next weekend. And this is the Forge Frenzy Festival, which gives you more blacksmith resources from quests, or you can find them during the quests. You can dismantle up to 15 items instead of 5 with the blacksmith, and you can get double the arcane splinters from the dice game and from the Wheel of Fortune. Then there is the Sands of Time special. You can get much more Sands of Time in the magic shop. You can also get double the amount from the Gambler, and you can find there is an increased chance from quests. Then there is the Exceptional XP event. Again, yes, and considering this, since we have 28 mushrooms and our mount is expiring in 3 days, I will probably buy the green mount because this would give us a boosted speed when it comes to thirst, or the more usage of the thirst for the quest. But this would mean probably that we will have 31 shrooms by weekend. Minus 25 means we will have 6 left. This means we cannot use the shrooms to drink beer. Still, it's having a mount. It's much better. Then there is the next event, is the Tiny Toilet Time, and which is just double the amount of mana when tossing the stuff in the toilet. And the last one is actually a really interesting one, is the Lucky Day. It gives you increased chance, or a chance to get lucky coins during the quests. You can spin the Wheel of Fortune 40 times, and you can play the dice game 20 times. Unfortunately, let's say the dice game having 20 times, it's so good when paired up with the epic luck extravaganza, epic good luck extravaganza, because having 20 dices means you have more chances of getting epics from the dice game. But it is how it is. And then the most important thing, and also a bit of announcement for the next episode, is that on the weekend or on Friday, the Legendary Dungeon is starting. The Legendary Dungeon is a really nice feature in game, which gives you a possibility to get really nice equipment. First, you can get a lot of epics, because there are epics which you can get while you are playing through the dungeons, but also at the end of the dungeon, once you defeat the last boss, you can get a legendary item. And the legendary items are a bit better than the epic items, and also the only way how to get the legendary items is by doing legendary dungeons, which means, and they count for the scrapbook, which means this is the only way how to increase the scrapbook even more. Plus, having at least one item in your scrapbook means that you are able to mine legendary gems, which are the best gems in the game. So this is really, really important for us. And to note that as a free-to-play player, for sure you can finish the legendary dungeon at least once while it is active, and it will be active for approximately 10 days. So it would be really, really important for us, and I will share a video before the weekend how the legendary dungeon works, but I will also showcase how I'm playing it with a free-to-play player. That's it for today's episode, and I hope you liked the content which I showed, and I would like to wish you a pleasant day and live long and keep on gaming.